A Tale of Two Megaservers by WillE. Okay, what happened here to those two megaservers? I'm so curious.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Willie here. Servers, we all have one. It's a key part of Classic,
There are
and
many
something
dead
which has
servers,
changed in the opinions of many for the worse over the years on
especially in
retail.
Classic.
However, our current state of affairs is beginning to, well, degrade quite a bit really. It's a topic I'm starting to see pop up more and more, and that is the rate at which servers are emptying as the top few absorb their player bases, creating mega servers.
That's exactly what I said the other day, that we have like so many freaking servers and there are so many inactive ones. Why don't they just merge them to, like, let's say 7 or 8 servers only? Because there are probably only like 7 or 8 servers that are really being played on anyway, right? So you might as well just bring the people in there or something.
There are, as of now, 2 servers, Benediction NA and Firemore EU, with populations of over 20,000 active players.
Yeah.
And that's only based upon weekly arenas and Warcraft log entries. Yes, people have alts, but this is skipping out so much of the casual crowd. How many of you guys have experienced?
But that's the one that matters, the casual crowd, right? Not those that log in once a week.
Become heavily one faction dominant from transfers or leaders, or your server has just died because everybody is left. I transferred personally at the end of Phase 5 back in Classic. I thought World PvP was going to be a pain in the Burning Crusade, and this was on Gehenna's, and even back then it had an okay faction balance, and it is reflected on Ironforge.pro. We fast forward to how it looks now, and the Alliance are probably going to cease to exist in another 6 months or so. And this is a big PvP server. It had a lot of stability.
Wait a second, it was really like that? Like, it was crazy balanced? Yeah, I remember that. Like, I'm actually on Firemore, so I didn't know that. Like, I played more on Firemore. Oh, wow. Yo, that's crazy. Like, look at that change. So half of the Alliance players either made a Horde character, or they just stopped playing and, like, holy shit. But if you look at the numbers, like 3,210 and here like 3,135, like, there was like a little gain actually on the Alliance side, but so many moved to the Horde. Now, that's crazy. So, let me guess, some servers had like no population, and like all the people switched over, made like new characters on a different server, right? So they decided, which server should we go from? Let's go for Gehenna's. Let's make their character. Like, this must have happened or something.
PvP server. It had a lot of stability from Classic with a huge competitive private.
I mean, there are new players too, but it's mostly like people just switching servers because theirs die out.
In actual vanilla, the server caps were dynamic between around 2,500 to 5,000 based on technical limitations, as per Mark Kern in a message here, and he was the team lead on the game. Even in Classic, however, we had so many servers that went way over that, with server caps being speculated to be easily 3 to 5 times as much.
That's crazy.
Look
at how many people are riding there. You will never see this in retail. Only else,
where people were remote logging in
as you get phased out or something.
Into wars to avoid the dreaded timeout. And layering was widely used at that time, though it was pretty rigid and seemed to be needing to be directly turned on or off, depending on the circumstance.
That was a long queue right there.
Layering has also evolved a lot now. It's got cooldown time to stop the excessive layer please spam.
Yo, that lag must be crazy here. Like, look at that, it's already like some lag.
Dynamically added once the server hits a certain threshold. I think on launch of TVC for Pyrewood Village, we went up to about 12 layers total, and it was very
what the heck is happening here?
5 or 7 by the middle of the night.
Look at that crowd. You can't see shit anymore.
Smooth at that, and then it was back down to 5 or 7 by the middle of the night.
Whoa.
Constantly fluctuating. And layers is how Blizzard solved.
That's before players quit, I guess, or some launch. It was like launch day.
And indeed benefits overpopulation. It doesn't stop it, nor the cause of why it is happening. Now,
you know what this reminds me of? Like, those of you that were on the Twitch stream at that day, like, do you guys remember that? How we had like this huge caravan that we formed for the TBC launch, and we were like hundreds of people, like all marching towards the portal. Like, this was crazy. This was like when we were still like WoW Classic, before WoW Classic TBC, and we all marched towards the portal, and we had some epic music and stuff in the background. You guys remember that stream? This was crazy fun. Like, this was a very cool day.
Now, what is currently happening with overpopulation is not the first time it's done so.
Oh, I
Retail
love
it
this
way,
dungeon,
and they came
like,
up with a
while
solution
leveling.
to
I
it called
have good
sharding,
memories here.
except unlike layering, which creates an entire copy-paste of the world for players should there be too many, sharding
Yeah, this
works
is
on
like
an
our
individual
caravan.
zone
This is
and even
exactly
individual
like that.
location basis.
Holy
This is why
shit.
sometimes when you run up to a
It's
mining
just like
compound
on
in
the stream
retail,
we
it
had.
disappears in front of you, and it aims to load balance the max number of players that can be in one place at one time. Too many get there, another shard is created. Now this does two things. It makes vastly overpopulated servers playable and
Yes,
have no
sharding.
queues. So in this way it solves overpopulation just like layering, but it also makes...
Oh yeah, guys, I have a very important questions for those that know it on WoW Retail. So I'm recently farming for the Time Lost Proto Drake, and some of my friends said they have noticed on some realms that even though they are camping at a spawn point of the Time Lost Proto Drake, sometimes they see suddenly a corpse appear of like either the Blue Drake or the Time Lost, like next to them, and they were standing there the whole time, and suddenly there's a body. Could it be that this phasing is a bit buggy and there are sometimes like people next to you that you can see, but they see what like spawns around you and stuff? Because one of my friends claimed like a kill was stolen from him and there was literally no player there, like a body just dropped suddenly. This actually got me worried because I'm currently also like camping spawn points of the Time Lost Proto Drake, and I'm like super worried that this can happen to me, that I see it spawn and I check if there's any other player of either my faction or the opposite faction, and like I always make sure I'm alone at the spot or go to like low pop realms. But I've heard from like friends that apparently like kills were taken by invisible people. Yo, this is actually creepy if this is like that. Does anyone know if it's like that? Please let me know in the comment section.
Realms which have an extremely low population feel more active, as players from these mega servers are placed onto the same shard as they are. In fact, you only need to be on
It's
a
a bit
particular
buggy
realm on
though,
retail
right?
if you want to Mythic Raid. That may be soon to change by what I'm hearing. Mythic Plus, or Arena, I think. Maybe that's changed, I couldn't find any info on it. So based on this, who is going to see the most benefit from sharding then? The people that aren't
When the
bothered
game
about
was
those
still
activities,
alive.
the ones who only play every so often, or
I
who
mean, there's
come
still
back for
many people
patches,
playing, but it
the
was not
casual
as
player
like
base.
this.
Layering does help
Good
casuals
memories.
on big servers as it eliminates queues, but when realms get dead and people start to leave, it does literally nothing. Sharding isn't there, so it's either $25 to move, hope Blizzard offers free transfers, which they did, but just really late, re-roll to a different server, barely anybody's going to do that, or just say, you know what, screw this.
I wouldn't. I have to disagree here with like people re-rolling on different servers. I've met tons of people on Firemore, for example, that were re-rolling, and I was also on Pyrewood on the Alliance side or PvE server. I was like just trying out the PvE only experience, but usually I play on a PvP server, and I've noticed that quite many people did reroll, in fact, when the population went down. Like in our guild, there are several people that came from a new, like a different server, and they made a new character on ours and just leveled it up. And some of us like helped level them up and stuff, right? So we're doing like dungeons together and pulling, like especially with a mage, because you can do like really nice pulls and just kill a lot of trash mobs and gain tons of XP. And yeah, we did that to like new people that just came to our freaking server. So yeah, I would say there are still a lot of people that would reroll.
Dungeons going. We don't have an LFD, no raids because no LFR, there'll be no guilds, no pugs, certainly
Wow.
no arena. There will be battlegrounds as they're cross-server, as well as your post-apocalyptic solo Warcraft RP, but that's about
RP.
it. You really need a decent
I haven't seen much RP
population
on Classic, to be honest.
On the 16th of November this year, Blizzard opened up free transfers for many servers in the Burning Crusade.
Thank you. That's actually a good move.
Every
A good
single one of them is mega dead. I checked a few of them at peak.
But can't they just merge it instead of moving the people? Because
yourself, and the game will even still allow you to roll here as a new player. Imagine making that mistake. And on Ironforge.pro, there are plenty of...
Yo, but that doesn't look clean. Like, imagine like you do that you give out like free like server transfers and stuff, and then like people move over, but then you have like this huge list, like where was it? Like here, for example, and then you see like there are certain realms like here, Hydraxian Waterlords, only 10 people. Here, Stalag, 44 people. Like you create this kind of environment where there are still like dead servers. Like, isn't it better you just merge them? Like, what is, for example, if you take, let's say, Netherwind, Celebras, and all those others, Okay, it's a RP one. Shit, it doesn't work. Okay, if it was a non-RP one and just PvE or something, like you could do that, right? Like if you see low pop PvP realms, you just merge them, right? Like those two, for example, or something. Then you see here, for example, like yeah, that's a good example. Like Netherwind, Nogginfogger, and yeah, like those two, for example. Why not merge them, like Netherwind and Nogginfogger, for example? Yo, that would be fun, right? Like, look at this. They have 1032, and on Noggenfogger there are 803 hordes. So they can, like, they're like almost evened out then, even, right? Like, they should just merge it.
Transfers for many servers.
Yo, that
in
would
the
be
Burning
fun.
Crusade who are on a
And they can
downward
PvP
death
against each
spiral.
other,
Now,
finally.
every single one of them is mega dead. I checked
Yeah.
a few of them at peak times over
I don't
the
think it's
weekend,
a
and,
good
see the
idea
amounts
to
of
just
people
transfer
online
players.
for
Let's just
yourself.
merge that
And the
shit.
game will even still allow you to roll here as a new player. Imagine making that mistake. On Ironforge.pro, there are plenty of servers that 1 or 2 months ago had a weekly peak player base of 2,000 to 3,000, and now
Wow.
they're all literal ghost towns. Gandling, Kurtanos, Skerum, Incendius. That server's been one hell of a roller coaster.
Yo,
The
but
list
what
goes
happened
on
here?
and
Why
on.
did it go
And
down
where did
suddenly?
Blizzard allow these realms to transfer
Was it
to?
because the scandal?
Yeah, the literal biggest realm in the entire world. I mean, where else would
why?
they go? Imagine they opened up a bunch of transfers to medium population servers. It's an upgrade, sure, but
I don't
not by a
understand
whole lot.
why this
At least
happened,
you know
though.
there is certainly a population on Benediction or on Firemore. And people are already asking for transfers and mergers on Season of Mastery too, as guess what? People want to play on the Megaserver because it's an MMORPG in the
Yeah,
first
you
two
want to
ends,
have people
as it
who
turns
can
out,
make
pretty
groups
important
with.
to
You
your
can't even rate
experience.
on a low
As far
pop
as I'm aware, in North
server.
America, it's John Gabar for PvP or Obsidian Edge for PvE, and in EU it's Dreadnought for PvP and Kingsfall for PvE.
And if
I
you
did see Orchid
level,
Valley last
there are a
night,
lot of
and,
quests
you
and
can
zones
see
where it's better
yourself
to
the
do it in
proportion
group.
of where players were. In fact, a lot of servers on Season of Mastery won't even have enough player base for a bracket 1 slot without excessive pool boosting. And in Classic in 2019, it took till around Phase 2 before Blizzard opened up transfers. It'll happen eventually in Season of Mastery, usually
Look
the day
at that
before I
huge
post a video
PvP
like this, if I
battle.
can convince Fates
This
once
is
again.
fun
And the
and
thing is,
epic.
Blizzard do have
Look
the
at
tech
this.
to, well, not merge servers, but connect. So they
There's
did it with
war
Classic
going on
Era
here.
Drop, where instead of combining the populations, they keep
I
their
like
names
that.
and their guilds, and then just have the server in addition to that. Pretty simple. So why isn't this being used in more cases where it probably should be? Well, I'm starting to see the dollar signs. Transfers equal money. But how much money? You know, before actually trying to get some numbers, I bet the amount they made off of them.
Yeah, there's like a financial reason why they're probably not merging it, because they know that people are going to pay for the character transfer, right? Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, I think so too now, like, to be honest, because why else would they not merge it? I don't think it's that difficult to merge servers. Like, you can do this in a couple of days, right? Like, maybe even in a single day you could, if you had like the team. Like, you just get everything ready, you just merge it, and then you say to the players, hey, around this at this time, like, everything will be down for like 2-3 hours or something. Like, yeah, there's a financial reason.
Would be very little, but let's see. First of all, the profit margin for the transfers must be nearly 100% because they're entirely automated. That's one good thing going for them. Let's say, this is going to have to be real hypothetical, but let's say about 20% of the players shown in Ironforge.pro have bought a transfer in Q3 of this year. So that would be around 60,000 players in the space of 4 months. I don't think the number will be this high, but just for the sake of it.
That's a lot of money then.
Times $25, that's 1.5 million. Not bad, 1.5 small loans.
That
right
is
there.
crazy
How much. Did
much.
Blizzard make in Q3, which ended November 2nd? 493 million, and 1.5 million as a percentage of 493.
It's crazy how
million is
microtransactions
0.3%.
outweighed everything
0.3,
financially.
and I
Like,
think
even
that
buying
is
the
using numbers
game
which
monthly
will be
sub. It's
considerably
crazy.
above the amount of transfers they're actually getting, and as a percentage of their operating income or actual profit, which is probably a better number due to the cost efficiency
Oh,
of transfers,
hundreds
it's
of
around
like millions, like.
0.8% of income from something which has zero input. I don't know, actually, that's not too bad, is it?
This
but for
is
a company
much.
like Blizzard, each record is just a new benchmark. You absolutely bet yourself they're squeezing as hard as possible to find new places to dig up some extra revenue. You can apply this to any big business.
I
you
think
want
it's
to.
it's
This
it's
isn't
a
even
it's a
Blizzard
shady
bad
way
thing.
to
Just
do
look at the
this. I
state
don't
of
think
Kellogg's at the
it's
moment.
good
There are
for the
people
game
whose
and the
jobs it is
community.
to find out how to make more money using current resources in any way possible. Lower quality of life features at work, cutting corners, firing staff after a record year. which happened at Blizzard. They don't care if you're playing a game, buying a phone, or on a plane. As long as the bottom line is bigger, it is a win. This is how business
More and more
works.
scandals
Getting a bit
happening.
off
Holy
topic, but
shit.
the point is, transfers are small, but they matter. They matter overall just as much as anything else does.
Because it's like freaking $25.
Really
Like,
don't help. Half the reason servers are emptying is because, oh boy, I only died 3 times tonight to get into SSC, or okay guys, BRB whilst the healer gets to dungeon, because insert other faction is ganking at the summoning stone at the moment, is not fun if you are on the receiving end. Players are not only sorting themselves into mega servers, but ones where they are the biggest pool of players. At the end of the day, it's up to...
yeah, but what else should they do? Like, there are like so many different dungeons and raids where you need a prepared big group for that. You can't just go in with like 3-4 people. Like, you're on a freaking raid, okay? A raid must be a full group, okay? So this is the problem. And then if you're like on a server where there's just like 200 characters on, or 300 or something, or like, let's say, yeah, something like that, then what do you do? Like, you try to find those 200, let's say Friday evening 8 p.m. Like, it's very unlikely that those 200 are going to be online at this time. Maybe you catch only 10 players or even less than that. And some don't even meet the requirements for the raid. They're like undergeared or something like that, right? So, yeah, of course they will do something. Either make a new character, like we had on our servers, where like new people came, they just rewrote. Or they will transfer and use the $25 for that. And it is a lot of money for Blizzard. Yeah.
Blizzard to regulate it. Players are making the most of the situation and the solutions that are offered. It's just like the ranking system in Classic where people pull boost and bracket stack. It's all about gaming the system for your benefit. Because Blizzard have the power to connect servers, they can regulate faction populations if they really wanted to, and it's Blizzard that chooses how many servers there are, not you or me. It's honestly too far gone at this point. Things will get worse in Wrath of the Lich King.
Wow.
Arena already
Look
had
at this
servers
circle
that
here.
were going to be populated solely because of that. Tier 5 has not been easy for a lot of guilds who have fallen apart or lost to the inevitable roster boss
Whoa.
and transferred off to the Megaservers.
What the heck?
Would you go? Imagine
Holy
how
shit,
people
look at
when you're
this.
recruiting for Half-Mode Bullduel, Trial of Grand Crusader, or ICC 25 Heroic. It'll be tier 5 turnover on steroids. So, yeah, that's basically...
Look at those two lines.
It's happening on Classic, but we don't have sharding to fix it. And people would absolutely
That
lose
is
their
sick.
minds if Blizzard tried to put this in the game. I think layering is fine, but up to a certain point.
Wow.
And if things don't change, people will...
This is the
continue
freaking
to
Goblin
choose the
Prophet here or
Megaservers,
something.
And they will gradually absorb all the small...
Yeah, it looks like a
dying
Goblin
realms. There are
Prophet.
25, literally 100% dead realms last time I checked. 25 of them.
Wow.
Only TBC. 0 raiding logs recorded per week. 0 arena games, and there are 25 of them, and that number's only going to...
Why they don't just delete those? Because they have hopes that people still log in or something?
XYZ could help, or ABC would fix it, but for real, I'm clean out of ideas that don't involve time.
Like, just transfer them all for free, merge it with something, and delete it.
Not to pick the biggest servers, or block
Because there's still
transfers
players
in some way.
that
Until then,
maybe
get
log
tickets
in
and
one
Megaservers
point and they have
are
like
here to
items
stay
there, but it's very
for another
unlikely.
day.
So
That's
just move
Farnell.
them.
Let me know your thoughts, whether this has affected you at all. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I shall see
Yeah,
you
for this
tomorrow.
one, yeah, if you definitely need a good group. And that's crazy. That's really crazy, guys. Like, I don't get it. Like, if there's so many dead servers and you just keep them there, as a developer, like, it looks also like dirty, right? Like, imagine you have like a big server list and you have like so many unused things, and then there's like number 0. This looks like dirty and lazy. It looks like, it's kind of like that, okay? You bring up some lunch to your desk here and you're eating something, and once you're done eating, you just leave all the dirty like the dirty dishes. You leave everything on the table, like you let it freaking mold away or something. That's what's happening to the freaking servers here. It's like bringing food to the table, leaving the plate, the fork, whatever, leaving everything there, and just letting it like mold, like rot away or something. And just stand there, and it's just dirty. It's like not good to look at. And if you're like a new player, for example, and you start scrolling up instead of down, and you're at the bottom, let's say, and you see, oh, 0 players, 0 players, it also gives you the impression the game is dead if you look at those servers, right? So yeah, they need to fix something about that. Like, I get it, like, there's a financial reason behind it. They want the people to pay for the transfers, and they already receive quite a lot of money from that, so they know they can actually milk players out of that, right? Because there are, like, a lot of people willing to pay for the transfer. But I don't think overall this is good for the game, and for, like, the community as a whole, because there are a lot of people very frustrated, and not everyone is, like, super rich that they can constantly transfer, like, characters. Like, what if you're on a realm and you have, like, multiple characters that are leveled? You have to buy per character then a transfer. So let's say you have 3 characters that are max leveled. So you're already at, like, $75, right? That's crazy. So, yeah, I hope they fix something about it. But yeah, this was like a very, very interesting video to watch. If you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on what's happening there with the servers. What are your thoughts on it? And yeah, don't forget to like this video if you like this one. This will help out with the YouTube algorithm. I wish everyone a beautiful 2022. Our new year started. I hope we are all having a great year. And I will see you guys next time.